I loved you, you made me, hate me, you gave me, hate, see, it saved me, and these tears are deadly. You feel that?
Hey gamers, Bullis here. This episode I'm bringing you a review of UFC 2014 from the PlayStation 4. First off, once again, I'm sorry for the delays. I had this done once already. I have done this review and I saved it, but somehow I saved it in the wrong format, and for some reason I couldn't open it back up, and basically it was fucked. Pissed me off, brother, because it was a couple of hours work down the drain. So let's try this again, alright? Let's give this one more shot and see if we can get it done this time. They added in a few new things, which is good. I like when sport titles can add something new and not just a new roster to keep the franchise from getting stale. Unfortunately, in UFC 2014's case, it was too little and too late. First thing you will notice is the addition of women fighters, which is excellent. Nothing better than seeing hot chicks beating the shit out of each other with flopping boobies. Wait, they got sports bras on, so they're not flopping? And most of them look like dudes, so they're not hot? And there's not that many to choose from? Fuck! Yeah, that's right, you get a total of about 5 or 6 women fighters. Oh, joy! They could have borrowed some female fighters from other organizations at least. So this edition, while nice in its own way, especially for female fans out there, it's hardly a huge deal on the account of so few choices. The next thing that you may notice is you get a perk system, which is the first time they've ever done a perk system in the UFC. I could be wrong. I did not review last year's game, so if I'm wrong, I apologize. However, to my knowledge, there's a perk system for the first time. And you can have 5 setups with 3 perks per setup, but you can only use 1 per fight, which is pretty fair. You have things such as crushing blows, attack to the base, which is increased attack damage to the legs, weathering storms, which is during health events, you no longer take damage when performing blocks, things of that nature. Anything that can kind of give you a boost against the other fighter. The customization for fighting styles and moves is pretty basic as it's always been. You can pick a fighting style and pick all the moves that you want to use. And then you can also set up your attributes, what you want to put more strength on, what you want to put less strength on. You get the story. You know how this plays out. So there's really no need to go into that, right? Right? One of the cooler parts about character creation is, of course, the looks. In UFC 2014, you can customize almost everything about the character, with tons of clothing lines to choose from, sponsors to adopt, hair and body styles, and the list goes on. However, the only downfall I found of this part of the game is the inability to place tattoos wherever you want on the body. You can choose the limb, the front or back of the torso, and things of that nature, but you can't move them around, at least not that I have found. However, the ability to create a look for walking into the octagon and another for during the fight is pretty nice, as well as in addition to adding your own music. That's a pretty sweet touch. But I have not seen this work in multiplayer, which that probably would have been the coolest thing to show off your walk and strut before pummeling your foe. Not gonna happen. EA, you missed an opportunity there, buddy. Let's talk about online play, because that's what we really want to get to, right? That's the funnest part. But I tell you what, once again, a could-have-been great game is butchered by spammers and cheap shotters. I can't even count the times I was beaten by a guy doing the same kick repeatedly, or by another dude doing the same gut punch, which you can get knocked out by body shots, by the way. Heads up, right? On top of that, the change-up system is flawed at best. I have a pretty damn fast internet connection, and it's impossible that it would be lag causing me to never be able to change my position in the fight, ever. Okay, never is exaggeration, but I'm telling you, it's nowhere near as easy as it should be. If you're getting ground and pounded, good luck with that, buddy. Half the time, that's the end of the fight right there, and there's a horrible fucking ratio for that. It's such a simple attack, it should not be half the time that you're going to lose because you're getting ground and pounded. That should not be the easiest way to end a fight. It's fucking ridiculous. While it tries to focus on submissions more than just simple knockouts, the game fails at this by the submission system still being a pain in the ass, and everyone button mashes with the exception of performing an actual takedown anyway. Running at 1080p at 30 frames per second pretty steadily, the game looks crisp and clean. The detail is great, from the sweat to the drops of blood as they leave your forehead and splash onto the ground, the different tattoos, the facial hairs, the body hairs. The characters even had, I believe, 3D imaging taking of them from separate angles, and every single one of the fighters are exact portions to what they are in real life, which is pretty phenomenal. So the graphics, I have no complaints there. They're beautiful. Even that little wave effect from a punch in the face or a kick to the gut that was in the preview that everyone was wondering if it was going to be in the game or not, it's there. The soundtrack is actually pretty good too, though I wish they would have done more with it. I wish it was in the game a little bit more than what it actually is. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. All things considered, the sound, the graphics, the gameplay, everything, all out in the one bundle, I'm going to say this game is a 6 out of 10. It's a little bit better than average, but not by much. If you're not a fan of this series, you're not going to be a fan of this title. It's a rental at best if you're not already a fan of the UFC series in any game systems or any consoles. Doesn't matter. It plays like another UFC game. Bottom line. So, I'm going to leave you guys with one of my favorite fights I got here recorded. You'll notice I made my guy look kind of like me. Short and stout. Well, with a pot belly. It's better to be realistic than stupid and chumpy, right? Anyway, don't forget to favorite, rate, comment, and subscribe. This is Bullets for Lunch signing off. Till next time, goodbye.